Welcome back. Gameplay programmers traditionally script out behaviors of the game using lines of code. Unreal Engine programmers use C++, and they implement functionality of the game line by line, and it looks something like this. Visual scripting is a process of scripting out behaviors using nodes and wires. The same behavior achieved in the code to the left here is achieved in Blueprint using these nodes. We're setting an object's lifespan to 15 seconds. After 15 seconds, it will destroy itself. Now, there are pros and cons to developing gameplay behavior by coding in C++ versus the Blueprint scripting system. In Unreal Engine, C++ is a highly performant programming language, which basically means that in general, a set of instructions performed in C++ will be executed more quickly than the same set of instructions performed in Blueprint. So C++ is technically more performant than Blueprint. C++ programmers also have more access to the code base, so they are able to reach parts of the engine that aren't exposed to Blueprint. This power comes at a cost, however, as C++ is harder to learn and takes more time to get up to speed on the fundamentals of programming. Blueprint scripting, however, is often easier to approach for beginners, particularly those without a programming background. It's also more approachable to those who are more visually inclined. Implementing behaviors in Blueprint often takes less time than it does in C++, but the nodes in Blueprint ultimately need to be compiled down into code, and this incurs an additional overhead, which is why Blueprint is technically less performant than code written in C++. Games ultimately tend to use a mixture of both. Now, you can create an entire video game using only Blueprint, and many game developers have. As technology evolves, computers are getting more and more powerful, and the performance difference between C++ and Blueprint is becoming less and less important for most gameplay features and systems. But even if you plan on learning C++ and becoming a gameplay programmer in Unreal Engine, you still need to understand how blueprints work and how to create them, as the Blueprint system is integral to all Blueprint projects. Blueprint came into existence in Unreal Engine 4 and continues to be used in Unreal Engine 5. There actually existed a visual scripting system in Unreal Engine 3, and this scripting system was called Kismet. Now, Kismet worked very similarly to Blueprint, except that each script was tied to a specific level. So if you scripted out some behavior in one level, you had to copy those scripts and paste them into another level to bring that same functionality over. In Blueprint, we have the ability to create Blueprint classes, which are more modular in that you can drag them into multiple levels and reuse the same functionality. Unreal Engine still does have a type of blueprint that is tied to the specific level, and that's called the level blueprint. The level blueprint can have references to objects in the world and can affect their behaviors. But it's really these blueprint classes that give us more modularity, and this is an important strength in the Blueprint scripting system. You'll often hear individual blueprint classes referred to as blueprints with an S, and each of those has its own behaviors and properties. But the overall scripting system as a whole is referred to as Blueprint, the singular word without an S. So the best way to start learning the Blueprint scripting system is by creating some of our very own blueprints. And we'll do that next.